What's up, y'all? It's G again. I was gonna do like a Josh Prey kind of opening with like, "What's up, y'all? 5 things that your bright friends didn't tell you about Chiari malformation." But I didn't want to steal his shtick, right? Um, but Josh Prey, the funny guy, comedian dude, he did a video about Chiari malformation. I will link it in the doobly doo. If you go check it out, one of his homies apparently has it, and he goes into some stuff like from an outsider's perspective who understands. Um, but just kind of stealing a note from him, I wanted to tell you about like the 5 things that I find most frustrating about Chiari. Um, Before we start, right? I painted my room black last year because of the migraines, and it's been storming off and on since yesterday afternoon. And so I've had like one headache on top of another. And that's why we're in here in the dark with just my computer to light the stuff. Um, so, anyway, yeah. Number one is not being able to do the things that you used to do as well as you used to do them or as consistently. Um, I have a lot of skills that I have acquired through hard work and like self taught and trained, whatever. Like, I can sculpt, I can throw pottery, I can weld. Um, I used to be a professional knife maker. Um, I can build just about anything that you want built. You know, it's not like a skyscraper or something. Like, my dad growing up, like, we were always working on some kind of project. You know, remodeling a house or tearing apart a camper trailer and rebuilding it, whatever. And I learned a lot of hands-on stuff. And on a good day, I can do most of that stuff as well as I ever could, right? But my good days are fewer and farther between, right? Um, as I mentioned in my last video, I have problems with manual dexterity and like being able to, you know, make my hands work like they used to. And it's mostly fine motor control. Um, I noticed it um, a few years back when I was in welding school. Like I had to change courses in the middle of the program because I was having a lot of numbness and tingling if I would do a certain kind of welding for an hour or more. It just, my hands would go numb and they wouldn't be good for a day. Within a few months of that, I noticed I was grinding knives and my hands just didn't do what I was telling them to do. And I messed up every knife I touched for a couple of months, 2 or 3 times. And it was really frustrating beyond words because I knew, even though I was like trying to push the envelope and make myself a better maker, I knew that like I know how to do this, but these guys just aren't cooperating. So, yeah, that's the first one. Not being able to do the shit you used to do as well as you used to do it. Number two, it's not apparent. Like, you look at me, I look reasonably, for a chubby, middle-aged dude, I look reasonably healthy, you know. Um, I got all my arms, all my legs, I can walk. Um, my posture's still reasonably good. I haven't crumpled up, and so I guess for a lot of people, that means that if I say there's something wrong, that I'm just faking it or just lazy or I'm bullshitting. Um, and that's part of why I started this channel, because I know that's something that people with Chiari malformation have to deal with on a daily basis. And, I may not be the best brand ambassador, but I'm the one that showed up, at least, as far as I can tell. Uh, so, I try to take people at face value. You know, if you say, hey, look, I've got a migraine today and I don't feel like living, like, okay, I'm sorry to hear that. You know, not like, you're just being sorry. So, I don't know. Maybe if you know somebody with Chiari and they tell you, like, you know, it just feels like my shoulders want to go back to bed and my neck's all weird and my eyes are super sensitive to light. Maybe they're not having a good day. They're doing the best they can with it. The third most frustrating thing is something hurts all the time. Like I said earlier, I've had a headache, some form of headache, all summer long, right? I keep a background one anytime the allergies are going, like anytime the trees are making pollen or the grass is making pollen, I keep a headache behind my eyes just a little bit, enough to remind me that the trees are getting it on, right? When it's real bad, like it feels like my sinuses are trying to push themselves out of my eyeballs. When it storms, like something with the barometric pressure, I feel like somebody is stabbing me with a spear through the back of my head and out my eyeball. Sometimes it'll throb. That's pretty righteous. A lot of people with Chiari have like stomach pain and nausea and irritable guts. I do sometimes, but that's not that often. And then just like weird mystery, you know, pain in your extremities. I don't know. Like, I'm not 100% that it's Chiari or just like, oh, hey, look, I have a body, it hurts, you know. But that can be pretty frustrating, especially when it's like always something, you know. The headaches can be just absolutely brutal. Let me see. I'm keeping my notes here, trying to stay on track better for you guys. Number 4 is trying to find a job that will accommodate my bad days, right? Because on a good day, I'm as good as I ever was, but it's not that often anymore. Between, you know, insomnia and migraines and, you know, whatever. Like when I was in my 20s, I didn't care. I just run ragged. You know, if I got an hour and a half of sleep, I got an hour and a half of sleep. Drink 4 Red Bulls in a day, just power through it. You know, even up into my like early 30s. You know, and I mean, I partied too back then. That made it a little easier. But whoops, I lost my screen here. It's spoopy. It's very dark. There we go. You know, and I mean, when you're young and dumb and tough and you're like, I got this, I'm just gonna gut it out, it seems like it's a little easier than when you start to get older and shit hurts all the time. But you know, I feel like right now, I need a job that I can do from home on a flexible schedule, so that, you know, if I've got a bad enough headache or my eyes are sensitive enough to where I can't really drive that day, it's not a big deal because I can do it from home. You know, I try to keep white off of my computer screen when I'm using it because that's what gives you the eye strain. Here is for the light because I've got Notepad open to keep notes, but I usually try to keep it toned down more on the like, you know, reddish scale or whatever. But yeah, like something that I could do from home that let me set my own schedule. And, you know, I'll get my 40 hours this week or however many hours, right? But I don't have to do it from like 8 to 5 or from, you know, 12 to 12, you know. But that's, you know, I'm not qualified to do most of the stuff that takes right now, because I've always done stuff with my hands, you know. I was a massage therapist for years, worked in construction, bounced, whatever, made knives, welded. So, you know, I guess it has been instrumental in displacing me as a worker, and trying to get back into school this semester. So that's number 4. The 5th most frustrating thing is the burden it puts on people around you. I know, like for myself, like on the scale of Chiari symptoms, I'm kind of middling, right? I am symptomatic, and I do have issues, but I'm not, you know, to the point where it has completely debilitated me like it has some people that I know. And I live on my own. I can take care of myself. You know, sometimes cleaning is not the easiest thing, or keeping up on the yard work or whatever. You know, I have a hard time sometimes with that kind of stuff. Just because it's all so much, you know. But, you know, nobody's got to like give me a bath and wipe my ass, you know. It does, you know, I have leaned on my family for financial support, especially during the pandemic and all that. And I greatly appreciate them. But, you know, any kind of condition, chronic condition that diminishes your life is going to have an effect on the people around you. And it makes it hard, you know, especially like being a single dude, like dating, like who wants to saddle themselves with some dude who's like, oh, hey, babe, I'm just laying in the bed all day today because my head hurts and I want to gouge my eyes out. You know, I mean, I'm not woe is me, and right, this is my lot in life. This is what I'm doing. There's people that have got it way worse than me, but sometimes it's okay to admit that it sucks. So yeah, the burden it puts on the people around you, that sucks too. So that's going to wrap up the main part of the video. I want to say thank you to a special dude, one of my bestest bros, who helped me get this lapel mic and the camera tripod I'm using right now. You know who you are, and I really appreciate you. Also, I'd like to ask you to like, share, comment, subscribe, all that shit. I really appreciate the subscribers I've picked up and the likes I've gotten so far. You guys are awesome. And the 3 of you that like put something in the till down there, you guys rock. Like, I can't say enough. So thank you. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you on the next one.